Hey, Tracy Lewis from Stuff and Things. I can hardly believe that I have finally received my Sale-A-Bration and Occasions catalog order. Because we traveled from December 9th through January 3rd, I could not order during the pre-order time. And then we were 3 days delayed, which is fine because the 3rd was the day of the real order, and I thought, well, I might as well wait. So I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, since we are in mountain time right now in Arizona, which is the same as Utah, which is very convenient for me. I got my order done, and it has arrived. Ironically, this particular campground, which has 2 sections, it has a campground section of like 150 sites, kind of in a giant gravel lot. And then behind is a residential area where it's all built up now. Everyone has bought lots, and they either have a shed and a couple of 50 amp services for their RVs. There are park models, and then there's larger lots even behind that have just any variety of mobile home you can imagine. There's metal buildings, there's octagon-shaped homes, and it's all just sitting here plunked down in Congress, which is in the middle of this giant valley below where the northern part of Arizona is, which we actually really love the northern part of Arizona. So anyhow, when this morning I was getting up and my husband was outside because he had just gotten the propane tanks filled, and the FedEx guy, we were told to go ahead and put our site number on our order. So I did put my site number, and the FedEx guy delivered right to our door. So that was pretty cool, and we'll be here for the entire month. So I like that I don't have to go up to the clubhouse and the welcome center to get my stuff. So I'm excited to show you guys what I ordered. For me, I would call it a significant order. I don't normally order this much at one time. And when I did do a significant order, it actually, the primary part of the giant order was all of the cardstock and inks. So this is all fun stuff to play with. There's no inks in here, and there's no cardstock. There's DSP, and there's lots of stamps and dies. So let's see if I can bend that back. I want you guys to be able to see everything. All right. So I did get at Onstage a pack of the gingham paper pad, and these are the sequins that go along with it, and I like them because they have the flower shape as well as sequin shape, and they come in multiple colors. This is okay. So I have been a stitched fanatic forever, and I used to own, before our accident, I used to own 3 different brands of stitched framelits. I have resisted buying any repeats of what I had in the past, hoping that Stampin' Up would actually create their own. And what I want to point out here, I'm going to go ahead and open this. So these are them. I did a price comparison of how many you get versus the quantity that you get with a couple of other brands. That there's actually 3 different brands that I own, and Stampin' Ups are comparable. And the important thing is these are stitched, then a cutout line and stitched, so you can use the positive or the negative side, and you get, I believe, 13 different sizes. And this is by far the most complete set of any of the stitched out there. So right now, this wins hands down. And for the price, it is a perfect price for all of the different shapes. You get, a more squarish shape as well as the longer, skinnier shapes. Then you go to the traditional stepping in on the A2 size increments so that you can do some framing. And I just think this is, whoever thought this up, on the team did an excellent job of making sure that it was a very complete set, and I hope that they keep it in the catalog for years to come. Okay, enough on that. Me and my stitched fetish. I am satisfied. I had to buy extra cutting blades. I have been cutting all of my cardstock down, and during the holidays I made a lot of cards for the Orlando swap, as well as my other swap that I did, and then of course my own cards for giving. So 2 more cutting blades should last me another 6 months or so. This is the lace dynamic embossing folder that is very, very pretty with lots of detail. Okay, so another thing that I love are word dies. I had a lot of word dies, and they were I think I owned 4 different sets. And this doesn't quite replace what I had, but they're very cute. One thing I did not like about the word dies is they were just a little, in this other brand, just a little too modern, I think. So this particular style of words is a little bit more me. Let's see if I can point out what I like about them. So yes, and I did own a few word dies brands that had just a few words. So I like that you get words, you get a butterfly, a bird. I love the leaves, and then a flourish. And so here's the word friend. It's hard to see, but I just like this particular font versus the more modern, limited, strict, narrow font that I had in the words before. I would love more words than this, but for now, this will be a great start. And I am glad that I resisted the urge to replace with what I had. I'm replacing with brand new stuff. My theory is I've already had all those items. I've made lots of cards with those, so I'm trying to make sure that I expand my horizons and do new fun things. We have the white ribbon that I plan to be able to color with the blends. This is a double-sided. I'm not sure if I can open it. One side is Granny Apple Green and the other side is Coastal Cabana. It's one of the few colored ribbons I'm willing to buy because they are 2 colors that I love. More snail adhesive. This is free. Can't beat free. It's one of the Sale-A-Bration items. Another Sale-A-Bration item, perfect for coloring, and where we're from in the Seattle area, ocean themes are, for any of my family would appreciate cards made with this and colored with this. This is for Valentine's. They are non-colored epoxy hearts in 3 different sizes. This is the other new embossing folder with the random dots sizing that I think is fun. I find that the easiest way to add to your collection is an embossing folder because the price point is so low compared to stamp sets or dies, and so I find that it just is a no-brainer to buy, as long as I like them, of course, all of the embossing folders to immediately expand my capabilities. So this is a catalog item. It replaces sets that I had in the past, and it is an edge set of dies. I have a occasions catalog set that I'll also show you. It comes with one, and I wanted to expand on my abilities to, we have a floral leaf, a modern, and then kind of a more traditional doily looking border. And then there's a 4th border that's going to be buried in here that I'll show you. Love this set. More pearls. Out of pearls. Totally out of rhinestones, so I had to get more of those. So this is the doily bundle set of dies. I, in addition to rectangle stitched, love circle dies. Had a whole bunch, maybe 3 or 4 of the different sets of spellbinders in the past, and so I love that I get a border. I love a larger bow. There's a smaller bow that I have with Beautiful Bouquet, and then I get 3 really pretty circles. There's another set of circles. They're actually floral, but they're kind of a modern floral, and those are the filigree or flourish dies, I believe. So this will expand with that, and then there's a floral stamp that this goes with. I like when they mix the stamps that actually cut out, or the dies that cut out the stamp, as well as some independent dies that work by themselves. I told you this is a long one. I sold to a customer who had lost her son when he was firstborn, and so butterfly is his theme, and I sold her my retired butterflies that I owned. So I have 0 butterflies. Oh, and then I had another set of butterflies that I got very early on as a replacement. They're different than what I had owned, and they actually came with some other items, and I gave those to my sister-in-law because by then I had decided that I was going to replace with Stampin' Up and didn't have room in the trailer to be able to have a lot of non-Stampin' Up branded items. So that left me 0 butterflies. So here you go. I don't think anybody needs more butterflies than this. There's like teeny butterflies, small butterflies, sideways butterflies, and then this huge collage that you can just cut into pieces. Love them. My next challenge is going to be to compress all this into a small enough space to fit in the space that I have given myself to store everything. That's one of the challenges that I enjoy, is organizing. So this one is a beautiful set that's for coloring. These are the dies, and it comes with some die cut, some sprigs, as well as leaves, and then this bigger oval for a label. And I will show you when I hit it that this is just perfect for coloring, and I love to color. So, speaking of coloring, now we can hit some stamp sets. This set comes with a punch. I allowed myself, because punches are big and heavy, I only own 4 punches, and I have a bag they're in. I have room in that bag, I believe, for 3 more punches, the full size. This is one, and it's all I got this time, and I'm going to save that space. I have a couple of punches with question marks, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get those. One like the cat, since I'm a cat person. And then there's the cat stamp set. I have both of those off to the side. They're not in here. They were on my list, and I ended up putting them as a lower priority. But what I love about the butterflies is that I can color them, or I could stamp them as a second layer if I wanted to. And I really like, especially a little note. I love that a lot. So, love this. And the dies, I will be able to store the dies with this. I mean, this is a punch, so it won't have dies with it. The doily here will have the dies stored in the case with it. I love the details and the samples that I saw at Onstage, actually. So here's the Wonderful Romance. Both of these, when I saw the demonstrations and then saw the boards in the lunchroom with the samples, both of these really I was drawn to, so I got them. Love the texts, the different fonts, the different messages. Love everything about them. So this is that one I told you that I have the big die cut. It'll cut this whole thing out, and you can color it. Alright, 2 host sets. I don't often buy the host sets but I love anything inspirational messages. We've got Believe, Sunshine, You Are My Sunshine When Skies Are Gray, Believe in Yourself and You Will Be Unstoppable, and then I love all these little doodads. Those will be great on envelopes. Even with other stamp sets, I can grab one of these and put them on the front of the flap or in the bottom left corner of the back side. And I just really like these sentiments. Love the plants. I have on my possible to get the vases. They didn't get the vases this time, but they are definitely on my list. They're just a nice neutral theme for somebody who maybe isn't into animals or isn't necessarily a floral person. You can always go with a vase or a plant and they'll be happy. Here actually is the punch that goes with the butterfly stamp set. See, it's a pretty hefty sized punch. So I've got a really good bag. It's a sturdy canvas zipper bag that has my other 3 punches. I might own 4, and then this will be number 5. And I have room for 2 more. All right, we're going to dig into lots of stamps. The crackle background stamp could not pass this up. It is not on wood, so this will go on my very large acrylic block, and I will put down my cardstock and make all sorts of fun designs with it. We are in Arizona. We are thinking that we would like to purchase property in Arizona as a better location or jump-off point for travel. Washington State is a really far place to have to go, and I've been there my whole life. I have left and returned on trips my entire life, and I'm ready to have a different place to depart from. And of course, this is desert theme, so it's perfect for where we're possibly going to buy a property next. This is the Demonstrator stamp set, and I dug up the number. It's on the supplies list. It's not in the catalog, and it is for me, for my team, to be able to send them happy mail with a bunch of inspirational phrases. I don't have either cake or balloons, and so I wanted something to give me more variety for birthdays. And this is a good idea because it works for a lot of different themes, like Mr. and Mrs. So a wedding cake, and I liked that I could use this for many different things. Now, I did not buy the punch, and the punch is not on my list, so this will be a fussy cut project when I make these. I also loved the repeatable little stamps here. There's 4 of them. And those also are great for using on envelopes as well, and I love the sentiments and the fonts. This is a Sale-A-Bration item. It's not one of my favorite items. Ironically, when we were married 29 years ago in May, we used calla lilies in the flowers, and so I thought, okay, I will spend the points, I guess, because this is $100. Spend $100 and get this item. And I love all of the sentiments. I've seen lots of cute examples of this calla lily being used, so I'm sure I will make use of it. I really like the frosted theme for First Frost, which was in the holiday catalog and carried over. And so I really like these flowers. I actually used to have a different brand of flower that had a little rhinestone in the middle, so that's what these are reminiscent of that I used to use. I kind of like that these are a little bit smaller and that they don't have the rhinestone, so I will probably get better use of them. These are the frogs on stage in November. The Demonstrator, actually, it was quite funny. You can find it online, and I love frogs anyways. Love the butterflies and the little bees with the big eyes. So I would have gotten it regardless of how funny her demonstration was, but her demonstration was hilarious. These are the sentiments that go with the dies that I already showed you. It's kind of the big set. And being that I'm just rebuilding my crafting supplies from nothing, the more sentiments I can have, the better. And this has, you know, like 51 different sentiments, I believe. So I will make a lot of use of that. This stamp set I did not buy, but I really like these dots. If I could have gotten these in clear, I would have, because then I could color them myself, but I love the primary colors, and I will make good use of those. I need to replace my embossing buddy. I've had it on my list since last January, and it keeps getting pushed down, and I finally just made myself get one so that it's easier when you do your heat embossing. You get static, and you get the extra little bits that end up being heat embossed, which for the most part I'm okay with, but there will be times when I don't want that, and that's what this is for, to eliminate the static. Again, I love to color, and I love animals, and I have all sorts of people in my life who love animals, so I could not pass this one up. I am a horse person, have shown and owned horses my whole life until the last few years. So my mom has horses, my aunt has a horse, and so this will get a lot of use. Alright, so for Valentine's, I really wasn't into buying the stamp sets, but I could not pass up a full set. I own exactly one heart die. It is a teeny tiny die. It's from the Stitched All Around set, so I am pleased that they had this very complete heart set. That probably what sold it for me was this multi-heart right here with the cutouts, and I really like this border. So that gives me now 5 border dies, and actually 6 if you include 7 if you include both of these. So I will definitely be making good use of these hearts, and there's lots of other neutral. You got the flower and the 3 borders that can be used outside of Valentine's. Let's see, what are we at now? Home to Roost. This is kind of funny because my husband is not necessarily a rooster person, but I think this is a very well done art, and I absolutely love this. So the rooster came with the set. It is a Sale-A-Bration item that you get free when you buy $50 worth of product. And of course, it's a colorable item, which is great. This is another Sale-A-Bration free stamp set. Just more sentiments. You cannot have too many sentiments. 2 new colors in the catalog. We've got Balmy Blue, I believe. Yep, Balmy Blue. And Mossy Meadow, which somewhere in here it is the dark. So those are going to be added to my very complete blends stamping case. I actually told you that I did not buy the Happiness Blooms stamp set, but I really like the cardstock in here. It's bold floral with lots of glossy, and so I bought it to be able to make some easy cards with the well said sentiments. This is my envision. What I'm envisioning is using these 3 together and coming up with all sorts of fun goodness without having to stamp and color flowers. This is the grid paper pad for the Stamparatus, and when I had my Misty in the past, I had the grid pad and I would come up with templates and would save them. So I am glad that they came out with the grid paper, and I finally managed to get some. This is a clearance item that is gold in the center, and it is actually very vanilla colored. It's a cotton, so I could not pass that up. I had more items on the clearance section, but by January 3rd it was pretty well picked over for the things that I would want. Of course, I have new catalogs for customers. And what's this? I have some DSP. Oh, these are the free foil sheets. Now, the samples of these being used are awesome. The Lovely lipstick, of course, for Valentine's Day. And then the Grapefruit Grove is an iridescent type rainbow color. See if you can see that. So that's the lovely lipstick. And then this is just so awesome. Can't wait. I've seen it a lot with the butterfly dies. I did also get the butterfly DSP, which is free, and the punch will punch out these butterflies. I think it's this size. For the last item, I went ahead and bought the DSP that goes with the Floral Romance stamp and die set. And the reason why I got it is because 3 of the designs are vellum. So this is I think it's Blushing Bride vellum, a full color vellum, and maybe it comes with 2 vellums, and then the double-sided. And I can't wait to play with it. It's very, very pretty. And that completes my haul for the 2019 Occasions Catalog and Sale-A-Bration Catalog. Thanks for watching.